losing my brain with the candlelight. Losing my breath, losing myself, dreams are out of sight. Stop struggling against my demons. Stop thinking life has fiction. Let it burn, burn, burn. Burn the pain, burn the lies, burn the fear inside myself, and burn it all again. It's the right time to escape this cage I've been locked in for so long. It's not where I belong. Let it burn, burn, burn into the ground. Ready to fight, ready to go, that's my body word. Second chances, a gift I just can't want. Calling again, pushing my brain with the candlelight. I catch my breath and let it burn, 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 burn. Burn the pain, burn the lies, burn the fear inside myself, and burn it all again. It's the right time to escape this cage I've been locked in for so long. It's not where I belong. Let it burn, burn, burn into the ground. I gotta let it burn. Burn the lies, burn the fear inside myself, and burn it all again. It's the right time to escape this cage I've been locked in for so long. It's not where I belong. Let it burn, burn, burn into the ground.
So what does it mean to be a raging Cajun? Southwest Louisiana, wreck your face, man. Still don't get it in, I'ma let you know. All you gotta do is come and join the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the highest tier pod of your weekly unfiltered wrestling and entertainment. Welcome to this bonus live stream edition of the World Elite Podcast. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube and Twitch as well. This episode, real quick, sponsored by 80s Tees and Dubby. Go to 80stees.com. Use the promo code World Elite to get 30% off. And go to dubby.gg to get 10% off of your order by using our promo code World Elite Pod as well. It's WrestleMania weekend. It has been a hell of a weekend so far. We're going to recap NXT Stand Deliver and Supercard of Honor. And then later tonight, if he's got the energy to come back on, we will also recap WrestleMania Night 1 later this evening on this channel immediately following WrestleMania. But welcome back, Justin from the End Time Wrestling Podcast. You're like Carmelo Hayes right now. You don't miss the streak, just keeps rising with you on this show.
Dude, I'm telling you, I am him. That is it now. I will take it at this point. Like, you could probably tell my voice is shot already. We have only gotten 2 shows, and my voice is done for. Like, by the end of WrestleMania, both nights, when Monday comes around, I have a feeling I'm going to have no.
I know. I mean, a lot of people already saying, like, it's been a crazy weekend so far. I'm shocked I still have a voice. First, congratulations to LSU advancing to the national championship game tomorrow afternoon. I will be tuning in, watching that before night 2 of WrestleMania goes live. Just real quick, I want to get your thoughts on SmackDown's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Bobby Lashley winning that. Last eliminating Bronson Reed. I called it. I said, those were my 2 picks, and they were the final 2. And that was a big W for me. Plus, what about the big ovation LA Knight got that night and at the Hall of Fame? I'm calling it. I'm going to have to put LA Knight main eventing WrestleMania next year. He's getting as popular as Daniel Bryan did during that Yes movement. But give me your take on the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So we got comments coming in. TK, Tim King show in the house as well. been a hell of a weekend so far. But carry on.
Put this in simple terms. I wasn't surprised Bobby Lashley won at all. Like, that was kind of obvious. He was, like, really the number one pick the entire time. If they'd have picked somebody else, then I probably would have been surprised. But, like, after this whole Bray situation, wasn't really surprised. He ended up winning this. LA Knight, it is awesome to see him over like this. It is fucking awesome. Like, everybody's yan. Everybody's just fucking loving LA Knight right now. And I hope to God that this just keeps going. This is going to be more and more and more that's going to get him to WrestleMania again. I hope he even shows up tonight. I don't know what the hell he's going to do if he does, but I hope he shows up either tonight or tomorrow night. Because, like he said, what's WrestleMania in LA without LA Knight? Like, come on. Do it.
Are we getting a tease because Bobby Lashley immediately got on Twitter after winning saying, I'm free and available all weekend. Who wants to show up, show up? Is he calling out LA Knight? Is he calling out another superstar that could return or maybe hop from one company to another? No telling. The clock is ticking on that one.
I thought about this. And it was a show that we just watched. I think this means somebody's coming up. And I think that could be Bobby Lashley's open challenge, and I would be all pumped for that shit.
Are you talking about Jay White?
No. I'm talking about Braun Breaker, dude. Like, if Braun Breaker lost, he goes up. Dude, you give me Braun Breaker versus Bobby Lashley? Like, that's pretty interesting as a whole.
Let's just jump to Stand and Deliver real quick. I didn't watch the 0 hour. I was still at work. But just a quick recap. Jeff Cobb defeated Tracy Williams. Kanosuke Takeshita beat Willie Mack. I'm pretty sure that was a damn good match. Willow Nightingale defeated Miranda Elise. And I saw her in Houston at a Dark Elevation show. When I recognized that mask, I was like, oh, I saw her fight Mercedes Martinez for the ROH Women's title. And she beat her. And then we saw Stu Grayson beat Slim J. And then we saw... the big surprise, everyone thought they were going to leave Ring of Honor or AEW and go to WWE. The tag team. They used to be part of, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Vincent and Dutch. Yeah.
Vincent and Dutch, whatever their tag team was called.
Man, it's crazy to watch them. It's crazy to see them. Like, we were all just like, they came to WWE. And then all of a sudden they're back in ROH, and it's like, what the hell? The Righteous. Shouts to Bakley.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I forgot they were in WWE, just like how I forgot Trent Beretta and Ty Conti were once in WWE. Or NXT, I should say. 5 years ago. The Righteous.
But really, the 0 hour matches were all actually really good. Like, we had, like, Jeff Cobb and Tracy Williams was solid. Takeshita and Willie Mack killed it. Alizé and Willow was dope. And yeah, like the whole 0 hour was just solid opening matches as far as I'm concerned. So,
and I called it. I figured the show was going to kick off with the AAA Mega Championship if you were not going to kick it off with the ladder match. And man, what a match. El Helio Del Vikingo versus I kept saying Commander, it's Commandeer, but man, what a performance. A lot of Lucha Libre style, a lot of Hurricane Ranas here and there. I started that as match of the night, but it's going to be a debate with this and about 2 other matches on this card of what was match of the night. But give me your take on the high buzzer kicking off a Super Card of Honor.
When they announced that it was starting the show, I went, damn, this is nuts. Because when I saw that on the card, I go, this is about to be insane. And it was literally insane. Commander, or however the hell you pronounce it, it was just, it was nuts. It was absolutely freaking nuts. And, like, yeah, there was a few moments where, like, there was the 450 off the stage thing that was kind of weak because Commander landed on his feet and then hit it. And I was like, all right, well, And then everything after that just completely engulfed that one little moment where everyone was like, oh, really? That's what we got out of that? And then it was just like everything else went from like 0 to 1,000. It was just spot after spot after spot after spot. And I'm like, these two just don't have any boundaries. They're just all over the fucking place. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
What was weird too, the setup, the stairway made like a triangle. That was so weird. I know we're not talking about sets, but I mean, it was just weird. But they made Will Gray just made a point. Yes, Nigel McGuinness back in Ring of Honor, and he's on commentary with Caprice Coleman and Ian Riccaboni. I love Ian Riccaboni. He's like one of my favorite commentators in all of wrestling right now. He speaks from the heart.
Yes, Bakley. Yes. Please.
Yeah, there's another dream match I want down the road we're going to get. Oh, and of course, I love the announcer from Ring of Honor. He's one of my favorites, too.
Dude, Nigel is so good. I was so happy when he came out because, like, Ian Riccaboni, to me, is a great commentator. Caprice Coleman is really good. But Nigel just took that commentary team from, like, here to, like, here. It was so good to see him back on commentary.
Then we get the Embassy defeating AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik for the 6-man tag titles. This was kind of a shock. I mean, I had them retaining, but everyone was swore that they were going to lose and Brian Cage was going to go back to WWE. No, I didn't see it coming. I think he's just going to stay. I could see him maybe hop on to Impact every so often because that's all I think about when I see Brian Cage. I still think of his run and as Impact World Champion and feuding with Sami Callihan back in 2019. But the Embassy retains, and that was a hell of a tag match. But I don't know who could be next to step up to face the Embassy for the World 6-man tag titles down in ROH.
I'm questioning that myself. Like, Blake Christian, AR Fox, and Metalik are dope as hell. I love the Embassy. 3 massive freaking muscular guys just absolutely doing shit that you wouldn't even expect a lot of them to do. Like, I don't know how you take those titles off of them. Like, how are you going to counteract those 3 big guys? The only thing I could really truly think of is if Shane Taylor brings back STP and challenges them, which would just be like crazy to think of because wasn't Khan part of STP at one point? So it's like, how do you do that?
He could bring back we can bring back Raju. He could bring back Ron Hunt. I mean, he's already got another guy. He just needs at least one more guy to make a trio team for STP.
I could see them being the ones.
Or Moses. Bring Moses back too. But
I could see
this next match, I was barely watching because I shit you not, I was watching 5 different things at once yesterday. I had 5 screens all around my house. On the big screen, I had the Final Four. I was watching LSU give me a heart attack in that one. In the bedroom, I had SmackDown on. On this screen, I'm looking at you. I had Supercard of Honor on. On the laptop, I had the LSU baseball game on. And on my phone, I had the Astros game on. So I was barely watching Athena versus Yuka Sakazaki. But it went about 11, almost 12 minutes. I heard it wasn't that bad of a match because I kept rotating. I was standing here, and by the time this match was going on, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was going on, and I wanted to watch that. So I barely paid attention to this women's match, but I know Athena retained, and it's another question: who can step up and face her? Because they actually have I'm enjoy watching like Sky Blue, Lady Frost, even Billy Starks in Ring of Honor right now. That's like 3 women I'd like to see challenge Athena down the road. And then she's facing, I think, Rio next Thursday.
Oh,
is it Rio?
Jamie Hayter's facing Rio next.
Oh, it's Jamie Hayter facing. Well, I got to see who Athena was facing. Trinity was at ringside. See, I didn't even know Naomi or Trinity was in attendance.
Neither. That's pretty cool, though. She might be next if they pick her up. But, like, I thought match was actually pretty good, but it just felt like we're just throwing opponents at Athena right now. Because I don't even think they have a set person that they really have to face Athena right now. So I think they're just kind of just shuffling through people, going, "Here's a match, here's a match, here's a title match." Like the fact that she just recently defended it against Emi Sakura, as far as I remember, like she needs some people. Like, yeah, she's facing Miyu Yamashita next week on Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, I
Which
knew
should
she was
be dope.
facing. I knew she was facing somebody, but I didn't know.
Yeah,
Didn't know
but
there.
we know she's not going to beat Athena either. Like, Athena's just cycling through opponents until they find the right one at this point.
Man, I'll tell you what disappointed me this next match. It was good, but man, I was upset. Samoa Joe defeated Mark Briscoe, passing him out, considering a submission. I thought he was gonna win it for his brother. They were gonna give him a big moment in singles run. This one shocked me. I enjoyed it, but the fact that he passed out and collapsed in front of his family that sat at ringside, his wife, his kids, Jay's wife, and his kids, and his mom was even at ringside, and they all like were depressed and just upset and everything. But you heard what Caprice Coleman said. This is what it's all about, and they performing in front of the family. I mean, I'm sure down the road Mark will be television champion, but man, I thought it was going to be last night at Supercard.
I was with you. I was so emotionally invested in that. Like, Mark was this close. And it just felt like the crowd was so into it, because the crowd to me was so on and off. But they were so invested in this. And it's just like when Joe won, the life just sucked out of everybody. Like, they were like, no. And that's exactly what I did. Like, I went, no. Like, what a moment that would have been to have him do it. But like Bakley even just said, I don't think it's over yet either. I think we're going to get him back there, and he's going to do it. He's going to win that TV title. And it's going to be a hell of a moment. It's going to be a hell of a moment.
I'll tell you one thing that kind of shocked me. I mean, I figured this was an even matchup, but I had Daniel Garcia winning because I thought, JAS was going to get involved. But Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Daniel Garcia. I did enjoy this match. I don't think it was as good as the match that kicked off Vaquinho and Commander, but this one was actually not that bad. But I was surprised that Jericho and his boys didn't get involved. Tanahashi beat him just like that.
For a random thrown on their match like that, it was really good. Like, Tana's awesome. Daniel Garcia, as much as he's engulfed in the Jericho bullshit, kid's great. He's still gonna always be great. And it showed, because even Tana was willing to try to give him respect at the end of the match, and he's just like, it's like he just keeps impressing everybody he's against. And that's the thing. He just keeps impressing it, and it's just like stepping up to the people that it's like, these are the older guys, and they're just like, he's one of them that just steps up to them every time to try to put them in their place, and he just always comes up short, but he always gives that performance that just, they always look at him and go, great job, Danny, great job. And it's just like, he's like, no, I can't do that. I'm with Jericho. It's just, he's eventually going to get out of there. Yes, I probably won't be as interested into it as I was the first time, but it'll eventually happen.
Before this next match, what do you think about the upgraded titles? They've upgraded the world title, the tag team titles, and the pure wrestling championship. And are they going to upgrade the women's title soon, the television title soon, and the six-man tag title soon?
I think they
the
already
tribal
did.
ROH. They did?
I think they already did. Yeah.
Oh, I swore I saw the ROH tribal logo on it, just like the television title still, and the six-man title still.
Yeah, the six-man titles and the TV title, I think, are the only ones that have to be updated right now.
Tana, yeah.
This doesn't look
Tana,
like
yeah, keep them in
They're
America for a little
nice.
while. I enjoy it.
I think they're nice titles, though, the redesign, but it's like they all look the same now.
They all shape the same. They all have silver plates with the red ROH on it, but I mean, I knew they were going to eventually upgrade them and give them a different look because half the belts were the old school titles from 20 years ago, and the other half was still from the tribal logo and everything. Like, I love how the TV title looks, but I know they're going to have to upgrade it and change the logo on it. But man, I knew this one was going to be a show stealer. The Reach for the Sky ladder match with all these teams. I don't know where to start. Well, I was so high on Aussie Open to win. They did great. The Kingdom was bloody and battered, but they put on a hell of a performance. So I have to I'll give it to Rush and Dralistico because I can't pronounce their team name correctly. But I have two things I need to bring up on this card. One was a fucking botch moment, but it was funny as hell. But Alex, I saw you and Jose, the assistant on the apron. How do you fucking slip and fall off the ring apron, dude? After you punch, like, he just fell flat.
I wanted Alex to hit him with a destroyer. I wanted Alex to hit him with a destroyer just to see if it would have happened, but like it was just a shove fest, and I was like, "Damn it! Come on! I want Alex to get physical just once, just give it to me."
I thought he slipped. I'm like, no, he just completely walked off the apron and fell flat on the floor, and it was funny as hell. I watched it twice.
It is hysterical. It is hysterical. I was with you though. I didn't know. I couldn't pick a solid winner for this match. I could not. It was so tough.
It would have been funny if he'd have pulled out a freaking laptop and whacked him across the head with that. Supposedly he sells MacBooks and stuff and laptops and HPs and all that. But man, God, I want to send my prayers to freaking Dante Martin. Jesus Christ, that was horrific. Like,
dude, crushed me.
I couldn't take the heel jokes. Like, that's a heel turn. I'm like, really, dude? Not now.
Yeah, really. Come on. It was just commentary didn't even point it out, but I just remember seeing it, and I'm still having PTSD about it because it's just stuck in my head. The sight of it just twisted back like that. Like, I was so locked in on the destroyer spot through the table. So when it happens, I lose my shit and I sit back down because I pop up and I lose my shit and I sit back down and I look and I see his foot facing backwards. And no kidding, me and my brother's reaction is just, oh my God. Like, we fucking just, it took me out completely out of the match because all I kept going was, I'm so fucking scared for Dante. I'm so fucking worried about Dante. I couldn't even pay attention to the rest of it the entire time. It was scary.
He just came back from injury. Didn't he have like a neck injury or something?
I don't
Just
remember.
came back from an injury. I don't think it's been 6 months he's been back. And now this career ending right here, I doubt he'll wrestle again. Something that's 6 month recovery if best, but they can't get a break. I mean, Top Flight can't get a fucking break,
dude. Every time they start to get a run going for themselves, something happens. It's like the first time they do it, and Darius goes down, and then Darius comes back, and then freaking Darius goes down again with a freaking like a car, like being involved in a car crash, and then he comes back, and then Dante gets hurt, and then Dante comes back, and then Dante gets freaking his leg snapped. Like, it's fucking insane. Like, it feels like they have to tone down the freaking craziness with themselves now. Because now they've been constantly just injured over and over and over again.
Anyhow, I kind of figured the Lucha Brothers were going to be the tag champs once I heard they were added to the match. But great performance by them. They're kind of giving me like that FTR vibe because they've held tag gold everywhere. They've been AAA tag champs. They have been, I'm sure they were IWGP tag champs at one time. They were AEW tag champs, and they were also trios champs at one time. So now they got the Ring of Honor tag team titles. And I'm pretty sure they were Impact World Tag Team Champions before too. So
Sure.
they're giving me that FTR vibe. And then, Mark Briscoe come out to congratulate him. I'm so happy they're letting him keep the original titles. They upgraded, but they're letting him keep the old school ones, and they're letting him keep Jay's. And then FTR come out as a bonus to congratulate the Lucha Brothers. Like, that's what you call respect. It was a year ago today. I was in Garland, Texas, in the Curtis Caldwell Center, about to watch a 5-star tag match with the FTR and the Briscoes. 1 year ago today, and I still say that was the greatest tag team match I ever seen in person. And maybe tonight I could maybe see the greatest tag team match of all time that could out-top that in the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That I believe should main event. But yeah, it was emotional. And they're hugging everybody. I'm like, go check on fucking Dante Martin. Like, I need an update on him. I know it's not going to be good. FTR's, what? You think the Ass Boys are going to beat FTR next Wednesday? Because everyone swore they were going to go to WWE. I said, I don't believe if they went to WWE if they'd have had that match last week on Dynamite, but they didn't. So I could see them going to Ring of Honor. Or I think they'll win the titles. They'll beat the Ass Boys.
I'm kind of with TK right there. Like, there's no story about that happening. Like, I just can't. Like, this is it. Like, this is you win or you're gone. Like, that whole story has basically just said you have to step up, and this is your last chance. Like, they're putting it on the line here. You're either staying or you're out. That's it.
That's kind of like Eddie Kingston saying, I quit AEW, but I'm going next door to the neighbors in Ring of Honor.
Well, that's because he didn't lose a match. He didn't lose a match that said he's gone. Like, he just left. He just said, fuck it, I'm out of here. But he had a place to fall to. This is like straight up. They're part of the company that is also owns ROH the entire time. Like, they can't just bounce from one to the next like that. Like, this is, you said we're leaving AEW. This is it. You didn't say like we're just gonna fucking dip. This is last stand and done, or that's it.
Next up, I was excited for this one. I'm actually shocked. Shibata won the Pure Championship against Wheeler Yuta with Moxley in his corner. I didn't see that coming. I thought Yuta was going to retain, but hell, the master of the LA Dojo has the Pure Championship, and I want to see more Shibata on ROH. Hell, I'll even want to see him in AEW a bit too.
Dude, I just every time I see Katsuyori Shibata in a ring, I go, we were this close to still never seeing him wrestle again, and he keeps getting back in a ring, and I go, it's fucking amazing to watch him wrestle again. It's fucking awesome. And I was so happy that he won, because Wheeler's had that title for a long time. A long time. Because Wheeler, to me, right now, me and my brother talked about this last night, him and Daniel Garcia are kind of in the same boat right now, where they're stepping up to the older guys and trying to prove that they're better than them right there, but they keep getting one up the entire time. So it's eventually going to come down to the point where they're going to get the one up on the older guys, but like right now, you keep that trend going of them being like, we're better than you, and then they keep getting their asses beat. Like, plus, as a freaking, just by favor, Shibata winning the freaking Pure title is awesome. It fits him so well. And to anybody who's going to have to challenge Katsuyori Shibata for the fucking Pure title, good luck trying to take that from him, because it's not going to be an easy challenge.
I want to see Shibata versus Brian. Look, he just said it. I want Shibata versus Bryan Danielson one-on-one for the title. He wants a three-way.
I want Shibata versus Danielson. I want ZSJ versus Danielson. I want everything like that. Yes.
Why don't we just get Zack Sabre and Bryan Danielson one-on-one instead at Forbidden Door? I just want to see Shibata versus Moxley. It don't have to be for the title. Let it just be because Moxley likes to fight guys from New Japan. So give me a Shibata Moxley match. And just because he's called the Wrestler, I like that as his nickname. Put him against somebody from JAS. We can have a wrestler versus an entertainer. Shibata versus Jericho. Shibata versus Daniel Garcia. No, you know what would make Daddy Magic's nipples hard? Daddy Magic versus Shibata in like a 4-second match.
Bro, Daddy Magic would get murdered.
Exactly.
Shibata would kill him. Kill him with
with
like he'd be wondering what his name is. They'd call him Daddy Magic. He'd have fucking like amnesia. He'd forget that his name is that because he got kicked so hard.
Now, I don't have much on the main event, but it wasn't a bad match. Claudio Castagnoli defeated Eddie Kingston to retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. I knew he was going to retain. I think he's going to keep it for a little while. He's kind of carrying the company now. He's sort of the face of ROH, even though he's a heel. Eddie Magic is too good for
that. Listen, I wanted Eddie to win so bad. Claudio's had that title for a while now. And I get it's gonna like kind of like I just feel like they don't show the titles on television anymore. They really did. Like they don't show the ROH titles on Dynamite, and that's basically where this whole BCC freaking I'm not even gonna say the BCC, just CC Combat Club because the Blackpool doesn't exist no more. Combat Club and the Elite are gonna be. So it's like the titles don't get shown. So why the hell would you just keep him on there right now? Eddie's going to be over in ROH, so he could have the title there, showing it more often. Like, it's just, I don't know. Eddie had me so invested that he was going to win it. Because Eddie Kingston, to me, just constantly gets made to be look like a chump. And it's friggin' insane. Eddie Kingston's the guy who talks so fucking bad, like a fucking badass, that he's just like, I don't want to even step to Eddie Kingston. But now I listen to him every time he freaking talks, and I go, well, now what the hell am I going to even be concerned about Eddie Kingston? The dude's going to step in there and he's going to get his ass beat because they make him look like a fucking chump. I mean, it's insane. Eddie was this close to winning that title, and I was almost ready to just be like, oh my God, the history those two have together is fucking epic. The fact that Eddie said, I am out there to try to gain Claudio's respect by doing it. And I was just like, shit, I wanted him to do it so bad. And it was this close. And Claudio just out-wrestled him. And that was it. And it was just like, I want the rematch. I want Eddie to win that title. I want to see it happen.
And Tim's making a point here. I mean, yeah, keep the Ring of Honor titles in Ring of Honor. Keep the AEW titles in AEW. AAA and New Japan, they can hop around both shows for I care. I mean, because I want to see more Zack Sabre Jr. since he's the television champion. He could defend the IWGP TV title on Rampage or Ring of Honor on Honor Club, or I want to see the Mega Champ. I want to see more Vikingo again, whether if he's on Ring of Honor television or TBS or TNT with AEW. So yeah, well, let's go straight
with CSJ though. First, if that's the thing. If we ever get him and Danielson, I don't want the TV title involved because that's 15 minutes, and that's not enough of Danielson and ZSJ to go around. That title needs to be lost. ZSJ needs to lose that title and then go in there with Brian so we can get more than just 15 minutes.
Let's go straight to NXT Stand and Deliver. I enjoyed it. Now, Supercard of Honor was fucking great. I'll probably rate the whole show about a 3.5, 4 out of 5 on Supercard. What about you?
If I gave it a letter grade, I gave it a strong B+ because it's just matches were from really good to incredible, but there was just so much stuff. Crowd was just kind of meh to me. Mm-hmm. Like the Dante's injury really kind of killed it for me a lot. Like that brought it down a lot. And then there was just everything just kind of the stuff that was just really good just wasn't able to pick it up like that enough. So I just kind of left it at a strong B+. But it was still just an awesome show. Like I still love the show.
All right, NXT Stand and Deliver. I really enjoyed the show, but this one's gonna cost you some points. I was so pissed they put the 8-person mixed tag on the kickoff between Chase University and Schism. Why did you had to do that? Why you couldn't put that on the main card? But I get why they were trying to keep it a 3-hour minimum because they still got to move 10 to 12 miles across the SoFi Stadium, which I'm sure traffic is super bad in LA. I've heard a lot of stories that it used to take an hour and a half to go 4 miles with how traffic goes down I-10 and shit. But this one was actually not that bad. We got to see, now it's Ava, not Ava Rain anymore. Not Supercard of Honor. Oh, 9.5 out of 10. I thought he was giving me September 5th. I was like, they had a Super Card of Honor in September of 2010. No, 9.5 out of 10 for Tim King. So the match was entertaining, but everyone was like, Duke Hudson's going to turn on Chase U. And I'm like, oh, we're about to get it. He takes off the Chase U shirt. Joe Gacy gives him a Schism shirt. He puts it on, and then he stands side by side with him. But then he takes a step back, and I'm like, oh, it's an April Fool's joke. He's going to turn on him. Now he rips the shirt like Hulkamania, and then they just attack them all, and then scores the pin, and Chase University wins, and my alma mater gets to be in control with Andre Chase. But nice little match. Ava did pretty good against Thea Hale. Thea Hale was a little etchy, but she didn't do too bad herself. But I'll give it to Ava Raine. I mean, she's a little green. It's her first match, but I think she's going to build up more. Then hopefully she can pass up Charlotte Flair's record and be an all-time great like her dad. You smell what the Rock is cooking.
Oh, that'd be nice. I'll give her this. I'll give her a thumbs up. I give her a pass because she's I would understand if she has complete butterflies going into this. It's her first time in front of a huge crowd. She's still kind of not fully there yet. So I wasn't gonna shit all over her there. Give her more time, get her in the ring more, get her more training backstage. She'll be awesome. The feud here to me is kind of dipped in my interest range anymore. But this match was so good. I enjoyed this a lot. Duke's come off as, I'm going to turn on him. I don't know why the fuck I'm hanging around with these guys still. And when he took the shirt off and put the Schism one on, I'm like, there it is. There's the turn. And I'm just sitting there watching it, and I'm like, but wait a minute. Is Duke going to just say, haha, I got you guys? And he ripped his shirt off, and I'm like, I fucking popped. I went, holy shit, Duke's not turning. This is great. And then I was just like, I locked in for the rest of the match. It was just it was really enjoyable. It was really good for what it was. I said it was. To Chase U. I'm a Chase U person too.
You're a Chase U alum too? I said it was an April Fool's joke. Not Miami Hurricanes.
I hope it's not just an April Fool's joke. I hope that was just really good story right there. Duke's been freaking on the edge of just saying, why am I here? But he's like, no, man, I love being here. I love it. And I hope that's legit and not just, because we're on April 1st, I'm going to place an April Fool's joke on somebody.
Well, I wanted to post this as a tweet, but I was like, man, I'm going to get a lot of heat for this. But I said, since Chase U is still in control, I said that should be their mascot, the Chase U Schisms.
The Chase U Schisms.
Yeah, I'm a schism. I still need to order my Chase U shirt. They have them. I forgot WWE's got a deal with Fanatics because it sent me to a Fanatics website where I buy all my sports gear. So we kick off the show just like last year, Stand Deliver. We kick it off with a ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship. I felt like, it wasn't a bad match, but I felt like they could have delivered more. I think the only jaw-dropping moment was the way Tiffany Stratton landed on the floor, flat on her back, where they didn't catch her. But then, of course, JC Jane cost Gigi Dolan the match. She falls on the ladder, but she was the one that pushed the damn ladder on Tiffany. But then, before Indy climbs, next thing you know, Dexter Lumis is looking at her gooch and her vagina through her ring gear, and he's like, I'm gonna help you out. And he pulled a Rhino and Christian at WrestleMania 17. He put her on his shoulders. They're climbing, and then she grabs the title, and I'm like, okay, yes, I do like Indy Hartwell, but I thought, like everyone else, I thought it was Zoe Stark's time, but her time will come maybe down the road. NXT just announced they're doing Battleground in Lowell, Massachusetts, outside of Boston, or maybe at In Your House or Great American Bash or something. I think we'll get a Zoe Stark title reign coming against Indy Hartwell. Give me that match down the road, but it wasn't a bad match. But Index is back together, so that means Indy Hartwell's not going to Raw, but give me Dexter Lumis on NXT every once in a while. Besides him just standing in the corner like he's in timeout to start off the Battle Royal. That was kind of funny. Then he's just going around tossing people over like dishes in the sink.
See, here's the thing. This match is fucking awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of this. All 6 women killed it. The whole thing with Roxanne, to me, I was so just like 50-50 with the whole story, because when she came back, they had it so convinced it was going to be the 5 women deciding a new women's champion, and then Roxanne would come back later on. Okay, I understood that. But then they brought her back, and they told this whole story of her being exhausted and having anxiety. And the first thing I thought of was, okay, if this is legit, then I'm 1,000% locked in and I understand this story. But all it kept coming off to me was, we didn't have a women's championship match just like it planned, so we had to come up with one. So we came up with a really freaking over-the-top angle to freaking set up a women's championship match we didn't have. It felt so weird to me. And it was just like, I saw a lot of people shitting all over Roxanne, and I went, yeah, that's just fucking stupid. Like, just because I don't like the way they told the story doesn't mean I don't like Roxanne. The match was fucking awesome. Like, with everything. All 6 women fucking killed it. Like, Tiffany taking that freaking epic bump off the ladder. Holy shit. Like, everybody looked awesome in this. Like, I never expected Indy Hartwell to win this. My lock-in was either Roxanne was going to retain or we were giving it to Tiffany. Indy winning was a big freaking shocker. And then to add to an already awesome match, you added a incredible moment by having Dexter show up and helping her win that match. It was so worth that moment to see him show up and help her win. That just topped it off. It was literally the icing on the cake of that. What was already, I would say, an awesome match.
So then we get the triple threat tag match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I really liked Tony D'Angelo and them's entrance with the Mafia out in the front row. Some of them had red suits, some had black suits on, or maybe some had white. I thought that was pretty. I thought I was waiting for like the old school car to come out. That would have been made it even better, but that was the Jumbotron that fooled me. I didn't really understand my Scottish brothers' entrances. You know, they're just sitting in a pub. They just did a toast. Looked like a pre-recorded video, and then the lights turned green. And I hate this new version of their theme song. I want them to go back to their old one. Every time I hear that old one, I feel like I have a funny story about that. Every time I hear Gallus's like original theme from NXT UK from 5 years ago, I feel like I visioned myself, Dylan and Jordan, walking into a bar in slow motion and just wrecking the place, beating the shit out of everybody. Broken glass bottles, roundhouse kicks to the face like we're Patrick Swayze, and kissing the girl at the end, and we're just like, Gallus on top, motherfuckers.
Roadhouse.
But yeah, I was glad Gallus retained, so it's a victory for our Scotsman. On top, baby. Gallus on top. But, man, where the fuck's Joe Coffey, man? I want the trio back together.
Well, he came back. He came back at the end of the match, like for the finish.
I stepped away. I didn't see the finish. I just saw that they won. I stepped away. I had to go tend to something. But I heard the song in the background. So he is back. See, I missed that. I always miss good shit. I miss all the good shit.
I would say this. I wasn't crazy for Stacks originally, but he's growing on me right now. So him and Tony together is really good. I love it. Gallus, how the fuck can you not like Gallus? And the Creeds are fucking awesome. Like, I don't know what we're doing with the Creeds next. Clearly we see what's happening with Stacks and Tony D'Angelo next, where they're going up against fucking Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, I didn't know they hosted the show. All that time, I didn't realize they were the hosts of Stand and Deliver, and they kept showing them backstage. And now everyone is a Pretty Deadly fan, and I'm still not a fan of those guys. I'm picking the family in that tag match next week.
They're getting there for me bit by bit. Like, I'm not fully locked in yet. Yes, and I agree, TK. That fucking Creed spot was so freaking epic looking until it happened. Then it just freaking looked like a disaster because literally it looked like Brutus just fucking was like, maybe the breeze will knock them over. Like he whiffed that absolutely to the freaking T. It looked so bad. But other than that, like the tag match as itself as a whole was solid. It was cool to see Joe Coffey come on. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I'm running the stream and I'm commenting.
He's throwing the ones. I'm throwing the you. I'm throwing the you. He's throwing the ones.
Yeah, match was solid as a whole. Joe Coffey coming back is fucking awesome. Gallus retaining. I kind of expected them to retain. But I don't see why you would cut that reign off right now. They just got the titles back. Like, let them have a run. Let them show how good of a tag team they are. And then we'll get them moving.
All right, next match. This match was a good one, too. The Fatal 5-Way for the North American Championship. Could you imagine if this would have been a ladder match? I would love to see Axiom and Dragon Lee in a ladder match. Throw Wesley in it. Throw Dragunov in it. Throw Shady McDonough in it. That should have been your ladder match right there, but a lot of moves there, bro. Axiom and Dragon Lee killed it together. I picked Axiom to win the title, but I was shocked that Wesley retained. But all right, that's all I got to say on that match.
Everybody killed it in this match. The crazy thing is, Axiom stood out just way more than Dragon Lee. I don't know what it was. Dragon Lee was kind of just like, he just felt like he was part of the match. Like, he didn't stand out very much in this. And I was kind of disappointed. I was like hyping him up the entire time. Like, Dragon Lee's fucking awesome. I can't wait to see more Dragon Lee. And it was just like, Axiom stood out. JD McDonough stood out. Wes Lee stood out. And it was just like, Dragon Lee was just there. It felt like Dragon Lee was just there. Ilya Dragunov stood out. Like, everyone stood out except for Dragon Lee. And I was like, what the hell? What is up with Dragon Lee tonight? Like, I was ready to watch him just freaking blow everybody away. And I was just like, oh, feels like he's just a part of this match. And there we go. But other than that, like, I think this match was just fucking batshit crazy. The pure definition of a car crash in a good way. Absolutely loved it. I am literally calling it right now. I think this match is the match of the weekend right now. As of right now, this is match of the weekend.
So this out topped the Reach for the Sky ladder match, and this topped the Kino versus Commandeer.
Yeah, I think like Commandeer and the Kingo to me was awesome. But again, it kind of had like a sway crowd. They were like into it, then kind of out of it, and then kind of into it, and then kind of out of it. And I was like, all right, guys, you could at least fucking try to be excited for this. Like, this was just fucking batshit crazy. Like, the Reach for the Sky ladder match was incredible, but like the Dante injury just killed it for me. Like, again, it took me out of it so much, and it was just like, it was there. And it's like this Fatal 5-Way was fucking insane. Like, I love this. Like, I'm still saying, like, I absolutely say this is match of the weekend so far. I don't know what WrestleMania is going to give us, because right now, my main thing that could possibly top it right now is probably going to be Cody and Roman. Maybe even the tag title match. But Cody and Roman to me just might top this and be match of the weekend, because that shit's going to be a fucking circus. You're going to see interference. You're going to see ref bumps. You're going to see everything under the fucking sun when that happens.
Then we get the unsanctioned match with Johnny Gargano and Grayson Waller. Before I get into the match, did both men have a special entrance? Because I stepped away again, and by the time I walked in the house, I heard the bell ring, and I saw when all the chaotic happened. But did they have a special entrance, both men?
I believe so. It was. I don't really remember, actually. I'm trying to see if I can remember.
I don't know if Grayson came back. I don't know if Grayson came back out with the gold shoe again. Like,
yeah, they did. They had like packages that led into their entrance. Each one of them did. Grayson Waller came out on Instagram Live at first. It was like,
really?
Yeah, he came out on Instagram Live while he also made his entrance. As we were seeing it there, it was very interesting. Like they had like a little live camera in the corner, so you could see it from the phone. It was enjoyable as shit. Like just watching him come out there. Johnny got this whole like little package where it was just like, yeah, he ran into Sean back there, and he's just like, "This is your guy, huh?" And I'm like, "Fucking get him, Grayson! Fucking get him!"
Man, it got chaotic where when he threw him over the announce table, he hit Booker T, and Booker T like fell flat down, and then they lost their mics, just kind of like at Supercard at one point. It was the ladder match where the table broke and they lost monitors and mics went off and everything. So it kind of happened.
Vic Joseph jumped over that barricade like fucking flash, dude. When they threw Johnny, when they went over that table, freaking Vic Joseph like went from fucking seat to behind the barricade in like a second. I went, holy shit.
I hope Victor from the wrestling club filmed that because he was sitting ringside for that night with the wrestling club. Well, that morning, they filmed in the morning. They were sitting like 4 rows from the barricade, and he posted a few pictures and videos. So if he's got one of Vic Joseph friggin' hurdle jumping the damn barricade, I want to see that. But
I hope he does too, because I want to see that again too.
This match went crazy enough where Candice LeRae jumps over the barricade and whacks him with the kendo stick. Grayson Waller thinks he's Shane McMahon going coast to coast, trying to relive the moment from WrestleMania 17, 21 years ago, or 22 years ago, recreating that. But Grayson Waller tapped out, but man, fucking love Grayson Waller. He's going to be my next NXT champion down the road. If Grayson Waller is going to be NXT champion before the end of 2023.
I'm bringing the hashtag back. Give Waller a title. Give Waller a title, for God's sake. I will keep it going. This was fucking awesome. And I love this because I love both of this. I still am a fan of Johnny Gargano, even though he's not doing shit. But you know I'm a fucking massive Grayson Waller fan. It's just like, I love, again, this was awesome. This was done so fucking well because these two absolutely killed it. Grayson's back torn to fucking shreds. The coast to coast, the crazy ass chair spot. Like, it was just such a fucking awesome match to watch. And just Johnny gets his revenge for what happened when he ended up leaving, and then before he came back, Grayson looks like a fucking star thanks to like his performance. Like, it was a win-win no matter what the hell happened in the end of this. And I was so for it because I was so fucking like pleased with this match. It was awesome.
Remember last year, Grayson Waller fucked his elbow up in that ladder match when he had that spot jumping off the 20-foot ladder. And a year later, he has an outstanding performance with Johnny Gargano. Then he's got his back all fucked up and everything. But that dude, he gives me some LA Knight vibes. Like, I feel like when he gets called up, he's going to get as popular as LA Knight.
Dude, if he doesn't, I'd be surprised. Because right now, he's already got the crowd behind him. Like, there was people during the match that were chanting Johnny Wrestling and then Let's Go Waller. And I'm like, bro, I fucking love it. Like, everybody was shitting on Grayson Waller, not interested. While I was sitting on the fucking train going, dude, just wait until it freaking happens, until he does something that you guys are going to be like, I'm switching fucking sides here. And look at what happened. There is people rooting for him. He is fucking over right now as a heel. Like, he's one of the biggest heels. Like, I think he's better than a heel than the Miz right now. Miz right now is atrocious as a heel. He's so lame.
My God. Grayson Waller versus the Miz. Give me that fucking match in the future.
Who can out douchebag each other? Let's fucking do it. I want to see it.
Okay, am I the only one who forgot that there was a NXT Women's Tag Team title match? I was expecting the main event to come next, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh, there's another match. I forgot about Alba Fire and Isla Dawn against Fallon Henley and Kiana James. I completely Forgot about that match. Waller is main roster bound, possibly around SummerSlam. Oh yeah, absolutely. Let him win the NXT Championship first before he goes to the main roster. I want him to see him win that title. And I also heard a rumor, on Triple H's side, remember he finally retired the red the McDonald's playpen and brought back the old school Hell in a Cell look. And supposedly we're getting a new look at the title after Cody supposedly wins it. If the Universal title gets retired, well, I supposedly read on Twitter that it's going to still be the same NXT title, but they're taking the fucking rainbow colors out of the center plate and they're going back to what they had before, where it looked like the Big Gold Belt, but it's the exact same title. It just don't have the different colors around it that blend in when you put it against light, because they're not the rainbow brand no more. They're not the Living Color brand. They went, which I'm glad they stopped that. Like, they're supposed to bring that back, like bring the original NXT title back, how it looked before. It had the freaking shedding light of colors when you put it under a light.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please. So, the only thing I suggest, though, is if you don't change the white strap for the women. Keep that white strap on there.
Oh, no. Yeah, they're doing the same for the women's title. They're getting the women's title, I think, had a color sheer, too. So they're going back to its original formation. Everybody was pissed. Everyone was pissed. They're like, bring the X belt back. I'm like, no, I hated that fucking title.
You like the NXT title like that? I loved that title. I don't know why. I liked it because it was different compared to what we had.
I didn't like it. That X belt, the NXT title when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Neville and Finn Balor and all them won, I hated that belt. I hated it. I
liked it because originally the two titles were, the women's title and the men's title were different. Now they just look the same. But then they try to differentiate it by giving the women's a white strap. But now it just, again, still looks the same.
Yeah, I hated how the women's title looked at first, too, where it was really small and everything. And then the one they got now I like, except the color sheer. But no, I knew this match was, I knew Fire Dawn or whatever they're going to call themselves. I like it. I like this tag team. So glad they won. Freaking Briggs and Jensen, or like your brother said in one time on y'all show, Brooks and Dunn. I laughed my ass off when he said that. One of them had a bag or a purse. She's like, give me the bag. And then they were like, no, don't give her the bag. And she turned around. She gets hit with the finisher and they win the titles. And I guess they're breaking up with Briggs and Jensen down the road on NXT. But yeah, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn as tag champs. Hell yes. I like this.
I'm with you. It's cool that they won the titles. My only thing is, Alba and Isla together still feels so random together right now, because there's really been no explanation as to why they went from fucking couple weeks of fucking feud to all of a sudden together. Like, we never got an explanation out of that whole thing. And this whole Kiana and Fallon thing together, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm losing a lot of interest. And I like all four of them involved. I like Brooks, I like Briggs and Jensen, I like freaking Kiana, and I like Fallon Henley. But this whole fucking thing of just, it's the same recycled bull that they use for fucking Brooks Jensen every fucking time. Enough with the same story of, we get it, Brooks Jensen's a fucking loser and he's never going to get some pussy. We fucking understand. Enough is enough with the same story already. Like, we get it. Brooks has blue balls. He hasn't gotten any. Like, fucking do something different with these guys and stop using the same story over and over again.
She pricked her and she hasn't been the same. What? Yeah. All right, let's get to the main event. Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship. I expected Carmelo's entrance to be more unique. They almost did something similar like they did at Vengeance Day, where they did the banner drop, but they did like a retired jersey drop instead. But he and I knew he was going to have a Kobe Bryant vibe, because they were in LA, and I thought it was a little overboard. They used this logo to look like the LA Lakers. I'm not a Lakers fan, but I do respect Kobe Bryant, even even though I grew up in the Michael Jordan era. But I like how he paid homage to Kobe. He had a number 8 on his knee pad. And I'm like, wait, where's 24? Where's the number 24? But yeah, he was old school Kobe. And I didn't see, did he have Braun Breaker on his shirt? Because he did the same thing he did with Apollo, where he put it on the floor and then they stomped on it. Well, he stood on it, and then Trick Williams like stomped it and scraped it across the floor. Didn't he have Braun Breaker on his shirt like that too?
I think so. Yeah.
So, and then of course, Braun Breaker got booed the fuck. I think everyone's just over him. I think he's good, but it's just like people are tired of him. I'm sure he's going to go to the main roster Monday night, or if he pops up and faces Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. I was waiting for a fuck Rick Steiner chant to go after the bullshit that happened at a meet and greet. I'd have laughed if they'd got a fuck Rick Steiner chant. He has nothing else to come. He says coming to Raw. I agree. Go ahead.
Rick would have deserved it for what he did. Rick would have deserved it for what he did. Like, the thing is, I think the only issue here with Braun Breaker is they overexposed him. They just threw him out there and kept him there and just wanted everybody to love Braun Breaker. And it was just like, I like
the Roman
Braun
Reigns
Breaker.
fight. They gave him the Roman Reigns treatment, basically.
Yes, exactly. And that is the freaking problem here. Too much, too soon. It's not, you didn't give him room to breathe. You just threw him out there and just fucking were like, you stay right here. We're going to make people love you. They're going to keep seeing you. It's just like you're showing who your favorites are just by putting Braun Breaker out there every freaking time and having him win over and over again. And it's just like, Carmelo winning is great. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy that he won it. Braun can now go to the main roster. My only thing with this match was I feel like it was so overhyped. I feel like they hyped the shit out of this match so much, and it didn't come close to that hype. Like, it was still really, really good. But I feel like they hyped this thing up so much that it just under-delivered by a little bit. Like, it had this whole, it's the youngest match in WrestleMania weekend history ever. Like, it's just, this is right here. This is what we got right here, and you should be freaking pumped to see this. And it was just like, yeah, we gave you a dope match, but you hyped it up to make it feel like it was supposed to be some kind of spectacle, and it just didn't live up to that.
Yeah, see, they've known for doing shit like that. Like, and I'm not calling it out or anything, you know. They're trying to make a younger generation feel good. Like, oh, you don't have to be in your 30s or 40s to main event WrestleMania weekend. You could be in your mid and late 20s. You know, Braun Breaker, I think, is like 27, 28 years old, and Carmelo Hayes is like 23, I think, or 24. They did that with Bianca and Sasha when they main evented. They were like, Michael Cole's like, first time ever 2 black women in the main event of WrestleMania. I'm like, that's great, but don't start a war. Don't start a bragging war or anything like that. Just drink it in. Don't expose it. Like, yes, we know Carmelo and Braun are super young. You don't have to piss off the ones that are 40 and older, or don't piss off a hacksaw Jim Duggan that's like keeps coming back to try and get the spotlight, like when he was in the 2000s and everything. But I was a little worried at one point, you know, when I saw the referee was speared out of his fucking shoes. I'm like, oh, something's going to give. But then you see Trick Williams come back after he was banned. I'm like, don't turn on Carmelo. No, he helped. I'm like, hey, Carmelo cheats to win. Fine, just take it off the breaker. No, he kicked out, but then when he hit the that fucking huge leg drop, what is it called? The Mellow Don't Miss.
Nothing but net.
Or the Mellow shot. The Mellow shot. The Mellow shot. He hit the Mellow shot. Or I thought it was the Mellow shot.
Yeah, no, it's called Nothing But Net.
Was that the slowest 3 count ever? It's like time. I felt like my computer was buffering. Like, it usually the referees count so fast throughout the match, but this one it's like 1, 2, 3.
The ref was
and I'm
still
like,
shaking up from the spear. That's why. He was still shaking
like,
up from the spear, so it was like he still was selling the spear.
He counted faster after the title hit. When he hit him with the belt, he counted faster than he counted him with the leg drop. But
Dude,
he
Trick
wins.
was smooth with that referee, though. Trick was smooth with that ref. He hit freaking Braun with the title and then slides out, but as he slides out, he shakes the ref and then dips. I was like, ooh, that was smooth.
Yeah, but Carmelo wins. Everybody's happy. He's going into his hometown. Battleground's gonna be the same night as Double or Nothing. Holy crap! So I got to pull double duty that night. But Braun Breaker was a team player. After the match was over, you call it in Ring of Honor. They would call it the Code of Honor. But he extended his hand, but Carmelo pulled his fist out, and then he raised his hand. I was waiting for Braun to just like go full heel and be like, "Fuck you."
I thought he was going to also, but he didn't.
No, he's going to Monday Night Raw. Monday night. I'm gonna definitely tune in for that Raw after Mania to see what kind of surprises we get. But hell of a show. I'll rate this Stand and Deliver kind of about the same level as Supercard. I'll rate it between a 3.5 or 4. I thought that's pretty fair.
I put it about 4. If I had to. Like, I think both shows really they're great. They're absolutely great. Like, I just think I put Stand and Deliver just a tiny bit higher. It's a tiny bit higher.
Yeah. But what I thought was the better show, I mean, I would have said Supercard of Honor was the better show, but it's not because this show was terrible. This show is actually good. It was kind of like a tight race. But we still got more to come. So that'll do it for this live stream. We will be back again later tonight following WrestleMania Night 1. So do you have anything you want to add, as we are still about, 3.5 hours before WrestleMania goes live on Peacock?
No, but you can guarantee that if everybody's still willing, if we're willing to do this, and we still have nobody gets exhausted, I'll be back.
Yeah. You saw our handles there. I'm on Twitter at MarcusLee337. Justin's at JustinInTime211. You know where to find our podcast is on all streaming platforms. We're going to close out on a quick note because we still got to get ready for WrestleMania. But we will be back in a few hours. Be sure to come join us. If you want to come in, I'll probably put the link in the group chat. We'll see how many people want to come in and talk WrestleMania Night 1. But enjoy WrestleMania. I'll be tweeting throughout it. I'll be sharing my thoughts on tweets and everything. But I'll see you again in a couple hours, and we'll talk WrestleMania Night 1. Thank you guys again. We will see you guys in a few hours by the end of the night. Thank y'all and enjoy WrestleMania Night 1. Peace.